I've seen a lot of Trump rallies. I've never seen a moment quite like that in any Trump rally. Donald Trump standing there while someone else enunciated at least part of his agenda in quite the way Kennedy just did. Kennedy is going to be painted by the Democrats and by a lot of the media to the extent he stays involved in the campaign. And I can't say that he will because he's been such a quixotic figure as a presidential candidate. But to the extent he does, I think you're going to see him painted as pro-life, as a conspiracy theorist, as someone who's faced personal allegations about his personal life, and as someone who is unstable and undisciplined. And I think too much of the analysis of how this will go and the impact it'll have ignores those human aspects. On the other hand, one of the failures of the dominant media in understanding Donald Trump and his appeal since 2015, and I'd argue maybe since 2011, is a failure to understand the very issues that Kennedy is enunciating as the shared agenda between him and Donald Trump that are powerful emotional issues that people who live in Chevy Chase and the Upper West Side largely don't appreciate. They get inflation, they get the border to some extent, although not as much as they would need to truly understand how those power Donald Trump in the case of immigration. But the forever wars is a massive issue for tens of millions of Americans, including people who supported Bernie Sanders, including people who otherwise are inclined to vote for the Democratic Party. The other issues you heard Kennedy talking about there, big media, censorship, the issue of issues related to what Donald Trump calls the deep state. These are extraordinarily powerful issues. And to the extent that Kennedy does use his connection to people who were supporting him and does team up with Trump in a way to galvanize that group, it could decide the election. But I see that less on the data, because I think the data is so unspecific to the moment we're in now and where we're headed, but more about understanding the resonance of those issues, not just now, but for the last decade or more, and how Kennedy at his best, and I wouldn't say he was at his very best either in his 45-minute rambling press conference or right there, but when he's at his best, he enunciates on those issues as well or better than Donald Trump does. At his best, he's very disciplined about those issues and passionate and lyrical and appealing to people in a way that is populist and triangulating against both parties.